Good morning. I'm Victoria Savage, Nurse Savage on your side, your wisdom guided oracle. And we are having coffee in my beautiful floral mug. Lots of flowers outside in my garden, bringing some inside the house. I've got echinacea and zinnias and sunflowers. And what else? Oh, I have some bee balm. So, how are you? How was your weekend? Mine was incredibly amazing. I was at Goddess Fest, and that's always a very high vibe place to be. But I got to tell you, the energy within me, uh, it was scattered at times and just different. It was. I don't really know how to explain it. There were times when I just felt very disconnected to everything that was going on. um, and it concerned me a bit because, I'm reading for people. Oh goodness, uh, working. I've got to fix this. This is driving me crazy. Working to get some answers for them. And then I had one beautiful young woman come in, and so I'm starting this reading, and all of a sudden it becomes a warning. And I get this very strong impression that, and I told her, and I just kept saying, I don't do readings like this. This has never happened, but you have to be incredibly careful for this next year. That means don't go out and party and get drunk. You need your wits about you. If you're going to be out at night, be out with someone. If you're going out early in the morning, because she's on a sports team that starts very early, said, be with someone. Lock your door on your car always, without fail. I just felt very strongly that she could be targeted for human trafficking. Not something I do, or up until now, let's put it that way, not something I do. And yesterday when we finished, I truly just want to thank everyone who turned out for Goddess Fest, because it's a lot of work, more for other people than for me, just to set up the booth and be there. And, it costs us to have these booths. And, it was hot. Thankfully, not as hot as it's been. So I'm very grateful. And Saturday particularly was quite mild, but the smoke, holy cow, we're just surrounded by wildfires here, and it was thick. And by the end of every day, we could all feel it. The eyes are burning, coughing up junk from the lungs. So I do honor the time you gave to us all, and I just am very grateful for that. I want you to know that. And I know the other vendors are too. And it was a lovely weekend, all in all. So the energy right now, the Lionsgate portal opened on the 26th of July. That was the day we sat up our booths. We were there for setup. And when I got up that morning, it was like, what the heck? Pain from the base of my skull to the bottom of my feet. It's like, seriously, what is this about? And I really wasn't paying attention to the Lionsgate. The thinning of the veil, the different energies coming in. Good morning, Julia. Tough weekend, in and out of zombie mode. Well, sometimes we just need to be in zombie mode. But it was particularly impactful Lionsgate entrance this year. It peaks on August 8th, and it's going to be very powerful on that day. That day is 8/8, and then 2024 adds up to 8. In numerology, which is then geometry, it is the whole of everything we are. So anyway, the weekend went well in spite of, and then the heat, tearing down the booth. And so I forgot my fan on day 2, and it was hotter than day 1. And I had my spray bottle of water to keep spraying myself with photon water, which is another story, but some great choices. And so while I was working, I would use my phone as a timer, and I picked it up and I was like, this is so hot. It felt like the heat sometimes when it's charging, and thought, gosh, I hope my phone isn't going to blow up. And I was warm, but not horribly warm. And I had asked, please keep me in a place of comfort here. And I kept drinking, I had electrolyte water. I learned after the first year at Goddess Fest what I needed to do to take care of the body. But the heat was something that I really didn't know how to mitigate. So I asked for help. So my phone was very hot and I knew, I didn't feel that hot. So I was a little concerned. And then I reached over and touched my crystal ball, this Labradorite, gorgeous crystal ball. And it was hot, just like the phone. And I touched the selenite. It was hot. And I realized that Creator had mitigated the heat for me. I was not feeling the depth of that heat. I was warm and I kept doing what I needed. But even the little things, talk to Creator, the universe, God, the great I am, the central sun, Buddha, Allah, whatever you call it. They don't care. That's not important. The importance is you call. And the little things, I really needed to feel more comfort than this heat day was going to give me. And Creator was so gracious in providing that for me. So, what is the message Creator wants us to know today? Beautiful flower of life cards coming up. Honor you. Honor and love your physical and non-physical self, the body, mind, and spirit. Allow them all to move into balance as you realize all have equal importance. You are not your mind, you are not your body, and you are not your spirit. You are all of these together. A beautiful combination that the universe celebrates as a beautiful, as you feel this and celebrate the amazing relationship you have with you. And love in spite of what society has told you, family has told you about your physical. We focus a lot on our physical, and most of the time it's not a very kind focus, for sure. And so we want to shift that by the power of our intention. That is the one thing I kept, telling people this weekend, was that truth, that you are powerful AF in your intention. And you want to learn not just how to manage it, but how to direct that power for the good of the world. And honoring you and who you are and what you came to do is perfect. Towards the end, and I had this young person help me actually reach up and undo all the clips in my booth to take the tapestries down, because otherwise I would have had to get up on the step off and on and off and on. Again, I had to do that to set it up. And then this tall person, beautiful soul, came to me right at the end, and we were talking, and I just asked them, I said, would you help me here and just do that? And we visited while they did that. And one of the things they said is, I'm a hairdresser and they want to learn more about their spirit self. And when I first saw them, I was reading for somebody and I almost called out about them because they were beautifully flamboyant. The hair, obviously their energy just impacted me. And I was thinking of that was interesting, that it was just like, look, because they were shining so bright. And so as we were taking down the booth, we were visiting, and they said, a lot of times when I'm working, my hands are in their hair or on their head all day long, and I send love to them. But I wondered, what is your perspective on that? Do I need to ask their permission? And I said, well, here's the truth. You're sending them love. It is their choice in their higher self how to incorporate that or not, to allow it, to accept it or not. And we benefit when we send love to others in any way, shape, or form. So there's no downside. Now, when I work with someone, I often don't remember, I've got to admit this, don't remember to ask permission to enter their soul space. My assumption, and I feel like my deal with Creator of the universe and with them, is when you come to me for energy work and you sit down in front of me, that is the permission I need to enter your soul space. Sometimes I do remember. So anyway, that was the conversation, the last conversation I had with someone during this lovely event. So honor you. And the other thing I wanted to say was, there are, people get very flamboyant at Goddess Fest, and there's costumes, and all of the quote unquote we weirdos show up. So there's some very interesting concepts and people walking around, a lot of non-binary, and I am very attracted to that energy. Now, why? I'm not real sure. I've always been, maybe because balance for me is very important. And that masculine and feminine. I had a lovely conversation on Saturday with another person, a beautiful, beautiful soul. And we had such a lovely time together. Another non binary. And I think it is the balance of the masculine and feminine in them. They are not pulled to one another. Now, that actually prefaced what I wanted to say is many, 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 most of us light workers, way showers, lovers of the world, sensitives, psychics, mediums, healers have experienced a great deal of pain in this lifetime because of who we are or from who we have been and past lives coming in to be cleared, and the persecution that happened to us throughout the lifetimes. And that pain has created us to be these loving, caring, less self-focused, or less arrogance, let's put it that way, because we have had to work through these things that have caused us a great deal of emotional pain throughout our life. And so if you are in that, bless this pain that has caused you to morph into this otherness that you are, and allowed you to come in more fully as to who you are. And one young woman sat down in front of me, and I mean, I knew instantly that there was an addiction problem. There were some physical characteristics that made it not unobvious to me, but I felt led to just, visit with her, do some energy work with her, teach her how to get her answers. And then we pulled a couple of the big energies from her because I felt like she needed that right now. She has been sober since March, I believe it was March or April. And it's a vulnerable time. This is not an easy path, but I also knew she agreed to carry in ancestral addiction, that and her past life stuff, all to be cleared. And I knew that this, whether I work with her again or not, I do hope she will come to this class I have on August 1st, 5th, and 12th, because that's going to be a big step for her in beginning to do more of her self-healing and staying in her power. So I digress. Lots of pain. A lot of addicted people are working to numb the pain. So the next card that wanted to come up, and it's funny, I've only pulled a few cards from the Kali Oracle, and this one has already come up, and it is Curicula. Beautiful, strong, look at, 2 sets of arms. She can do anything, and very focused, very fierce in her beauty. She is vibrant red, pulsating with the feminine power of enlightened activity. The activity, she has 4 hands. How many is of us said is I need 2 more hands? She has that. Pulsating with the feminine power of enlightened activity, infusing our hearts with her capacity for sacred sorcery to conjure and create according to love's guiding wisdom. That is what we always want to hold in our heart, whatever we are doing in life, for our job, in our relationships, in our downtime, holding love in our heart and that wisdom to receive the divine inherence of blessings and support for sacred fulfillment. Certain karmic conditions that resonate at a lower frequency need to be cleared away. And we came into this world at this time to do that. The lesson is to release, to receive. So it's almost like, friendships that are transient. And I teach people, when someone leaves you, it opens up space for you to receive a new person that you can help and that can help you. And that person leaving is going to find someone to fill that space. We release to receive more. It's almost as though our bucket gets pretty full, and until we get rid of some of the stuff within us, we can't receive anymore. Curicula symbolizes a time of rapid movement on your life path and freedom to attract what you need and want. However, you must be willing to let go of negativity and that which does not belong in your world. We have to release to receive. So we want to honor all parts of us. the parts that want to watch the news, even though we know it's not in our highest and best interest to do that, the parts that want to eat the things that may not be fueling our body in the way that it needs to be fueled. We want to honor all of that with the intention that as I receive the guidance, I will be able to release the things that are holding me back. Right now, with Lionsgate Portal and the way this whole world is flowing right now, the energy is going very fast. So is your energy to manifest. So you better be careful about what you're focusing on, because, like I've said time and again, focus is your superpower. You create what you focus on most. If you want to be less negative, bring less negative energy into your space. Again, excuse me, television can be a source of great enlightening and strength and joyfulness, or it can be, and often is, a source of negativity and angst and fear and sadness. You want to choose differently if bringing in your field has been a more negative attraction. So, and that is just a choice you make. Embrace the internal mother. This is, again, we are honoring you. This is you nurturing you, you taking care of you, you bringing into your field what you need to feel better. One of the things that I know I need to bring in my field is a little bit cleaner eating than I have been doing. When I do something like Goddess Fest, for the most part, I bring, cucumbers and cheese and nuts and things, and boiled eggs, the things that I can grab and eat that are healthier, because it's going to take a lot of stamina for me to read for one person after another, withstand the heat, and this year the smoke. And so I made pretty wise, well, very wise choices in what I chose to bring for me to eat. I have been making less than wise choices before that. Not horrible, but what I know is probably not fueling my body in the way I want it to be, and bringing in a lighter feeling into my digestive system. And so coming into today, it was like, okay, I am asking for the angels, guides, companions to help me desire what is best for my body now. And intermittent fasting is one that I do pretty easy, and that keeps my system in a place of more clearing than it does if I don't intermittent fast. The one thing I did do this weekend, and with intention, was that I didn't intermittent fast. Saturday, I had my treat coffee, which has cream and honey in it. I made tea with honey in it because of the beautiful stuff that honey offers us. And that was intentional because I knew I was going to read. And then Sunday morning, I had a bagel with cream cheese. Because again, there's little time to eat when I do these events, and I knew I needed to be fueled from morning till evening. So embrace the internal mother, nurture yourself, give yourself what you need. Love yourself when you fail to do what you think you should be doing for yourself, knowing that, sometimes we just need to indulge in a desire rather than in what we believe is highest and best for us. Here's the truth, though. Those desires being honored on occasion, because those things are not always the healthiest. Like Oreo cookies. The occasions that I allow myself Oreo cookies. Not the best choice, but you know what? Sometimes it is the best choice because I need that little bit of just treat. So honor yourself in all ways. The next card that came up, ooh, I love this card because of how it looks and what it's saying. Champion peace. Be the bringer of peace, which means when dissension comes before you, choose to be the emanator of the peaceful energy. Look at that infinity wave of peace going from your heart to their heart, this infinity symbol. Be the peace bringer. And it doesn't matter what realm you're in, what group you're in, how spiritual they are. Us bringing the energy of peace to everything we do is a huge bonus in the world right now, because the energies are so intense coming in, because the veil is so thin, and because there's so much upheaval and fear mongering going on in our world. We want to always be bringing our energy into a place of higher vibration, peace, love, harmony, and gratitude. Those are the energies we want to choose every morning to be bringing into the world. Are we going to be 100% successful? No, because we are human. But the more we intend that, the power of our intention is stronger than you know. The more we intend that, the more we embody that. So, this is the management of your energy, being a light bringer, a way shower, a light worker, a peace bringer into the world by the power of our intention and just by sharing our energy. Remember, we cannot change the fact that we are sharing energy with everyone, but what we can change is the type of energy we're sharing. And then the last card that wanted to come up, look at this beautiful thing. Look at that seal. Reclaim your soul skin. Quickly, is an old wives' tale about the silkies off of Ireland, and how if a fisherman could claim a silkie, which was a seal, and they would lose their skin and they would be with that fisherman forever as a human woman and a beautiful woman. If she could get back to the water, she could claim her soul skin and be the totality of who she is. This is what this is telling us. Reclaim your soul skin. Step into the totality of your perfection as a spirit here, having a human experience, knowing and accepting the fact that we are not always going to do things as perfectly as we desire. We are not always going to behave perfectly the way we would want to, but our intention to always bring our very best as often as we can and be the emanators of peace and love and harmony and gratitude in the world is a huge bonus to the world, even if we are not always perfect. So honor all of the aspects that are you in this lifetime, the human imperfections, the spiritual perfection, the lover, the way shower, the light bringer, the seer, the healer, the energy worker, the jewelry maker, the seamstress, the baker, the waitress, the hairdresser, all of what you do, bring your wonderfulness in it and intend to be sharing that beautiful energy in everything you do, whatever that is that you are doing in the world on a regular basis. For the next couple days, my energy is going to be at home, and it is still very smoky out, and sadly will likely be for quite some time. My time will be inside, actually preparing the PowerPoint I have for this class that's coming up, and doing some yoga and some restorative work to get this body back in alignment and less pain. That is the truth. I mean, this Lionsgate portal was a doozy, and people were feeling it for sure. Remember, the veil is thinner during the Lionsgate. Manifestation is speeded up. I am manifesting an incredibly powerful retreat in September, even more powerful than the last one because the people coming are exactly perfect. There are still some spaces left if you would like to participate in this retreat. And then I'm focusing on the people that are coming to this class that I am offering, that I get to help along their way learn more about their own personal power. So, and how to manage their energy, and doing some energy clearing in the process. So I think we are complete for this lovely day in summer. And I'm choosing to see it as a lovely day, even though looking out my window, it's not as beautiful as I might want it to be. And I am being held back from camping a little bit because of the smoke and the fact that, when you're camping, you're not inside as much. And I just spent 2 days out in the smoke, and I will be recovering by staying in for a couple. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank all of you who came and supported me at Goddess Fest and sat down with me and said, "Hey, I follow you," which is always lovely to hear. We do sometimes wonder, those of us who show up here, who is watching. So if you do, please just say, "Hey, I'm here. Hello. I see you. Whatever, just some comments so we know that you are following us. If you're watching on my YouTube channel, please like and subscribe. It does help me reach more people. And my desire is to positively influence as many people in this lifetime as I can. And you could be the propagator of more of that. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Victoria Savage, Nurse Savage on your side, your wisdom guided oracle. Until we meet again.